Welcome back to CBS Soap Dish Recap, where we recap everything CBS soaps, both the young and the restless, and the bold and the beautiful. This is your Young and the Restless recap for September 12th, and today Lily is trying her best to process all this chaos at Chancellor Winters. Victoria and Nick butt heads over Sally, and as for Sally and Chloe have it out over Adam once again. So before we unpack all of this, take a second to make sure you're subscribed to this channel to receive all updates, and please don't forget to like and share. Okay, so we're over at Newman Enterprises, and this is Victoria bragging to Nick about how many deals that she's closed and have her sights on. Now, Nick hasn't seen her happy since before the merger, and she said, "This is my time, it's mine and mine only. Me. One of the reasons that she have a smile, she said, is because Nick is there to have her back and run things while she was traveling. Everything is running seamlessly." Nick hates to bring her mood down because, yes, a lot more going on. And he explained that Victor wants him to fire Sally and him to take her place. Some form of retaliation, he thinks, against Adam for joining Jabot. Victoria claims she got a bunch of texts about it from Billy and Nick, and she admits she didn't see that coming. But Nick complains that Victor interfering in everything and moving them all around chess pieces is annoying. And otherwise, we see Victoria agreeing that she understands that how her dad works, but that's exactly what he does. Okay, so over at Newman Media, we see Sally rushing back in. Chloe was like, "Where were you? You missed a huge marketing meeting. What was so important that you missed the meeting?" So Sally was like, "No, you're wrong. The meeting is actually later." And she was like, "No, you're wrong. I was actually there." And Sally realized, "Oh my God, you're right." But is sure that Chloe handled it well. And Chloe says that everyone was confused and annoyed that she was an absolute no-show. Now, Sally decides, I'll just send out messages to everybody claiming that her assistant, quote unquote, put the wrong time in the calendar. Chloe was like, yeah, but that's not true. And she learned that she was at a rooftop bar and Sally was trying to clear her head. Okay, but who are you talking to? Adam. She was like, "All right, it's Adam. Did I hear you say Adam? I must be hallucinating." And Sally informs her that you should be happy because she now has absolute clarity. So over at Crimson Light, Nate is ranting to Elena about Devon's thinking. Now, she's wondering if there's still a way to resolve this. Nate is ready to leave, and she should be happy, so he thinks. Now, Elena only suggested he leave because of all of the tension between him and Devon, which is also why she suggested he should slow down on those music festival plans. Now, Nate relates that he pitched it to Billy, who loved it, and brought it up in that meeting with Jill. Now, Elena guessed Devon was blindsided, huh? Now, Nate wonders if he was supposed to keep quiet when the rest of the team wanted to hear his ideas. And he was wondering, why is she taking Devon's side? Now, Elena's only objective is to get Nate and Devon to work out the issues, but she does believe things would be better for him without the stress. So what's next? Did you hand in your resignation? Nate said that no, he's done it many times in his head though. And she warns him to take care to preserve those relationships with Lily and Devon and don't burn any bridges. Now, Nate's not sure he can cool off where Devon is concerned. Elena kind of clapped back that he should just come back to the hospital. Everyone misses him there anyway. Now, Nate only go back as a surgeon, and they both know that that's never going to happen because of his hand and because of Devon. Now, over at Chancellor Winters, Lily is telling Billy she can't believe Nate lost his composure in front of Jill. Billy is like he's under a lot of pressure and was offended by Devon's negative reaction. Lily is not happy with that statement because she said it sounds like Billy is taking sides, and he of all people should know that she can't deal with that right now. Now, she complains about Billy also bringing up Nate Music Festival at the meeting with Devon and Jill. Billy thought it was important that they see Nate has good instincts. Lily worries that Devon feels blindsided, and if they don't do something about this soon, Nate might walk away for good, which makes Lily feel like a failure. Now, Billy reminds her that Devon is your equal partner and he got to figure out his own issues with Nate outside of the office. That's not your job to mediate that. Now, Lily argues it is her responsibility as the person who pushed for this merger in the first place and as a member of the family. Billy suggests she has a serious conversation with Devon then, or Nate might just jump ship. Okay, so now back over at Newman, Victoria is asking Nick, what do you want? Nick would like to not be part of Victor's mind games with Adam. Now, Victoria also asked what else is on his mind. Now, he said he has some concerns about Sally, who's been second guessing herself and questioning the instincts, and seems to have lost her strong leadership style. Nick thinks Adam has her off kilter. Now, Victoria sniffs and says she should have stayed away from him in the first place. Now, Nick was like, come on, we've all been through bad breakups, and Victoria knows this better than anybody because there's a difference in living between a few bad days and being just unqualified. Now, Nick thinks it's bad for optics if they replaced her so soon after just replacing Adam. Now, Nick feels that she can grow and deserve credit for coming to Victoria after Adam approached her with that evidence. Now, Victoria was impressed by her loyalty. Nick wants to give her some time to turn things around. And then just then, both Nick and Victoria got a text that Sally was a big no-show at the big marketing meeting. And you can tell by Victoria's face that did not sit well with her at all. So now over at Newman Media, Sally is telling Chloe how good it felt to have a civil conversation with Adam when things could have gone completely off the rails. She looked into his eyes and she put the brakes on. Chloe assumed that it was actually her emergency text that did that. Wow. Now she rails at Sally to realize that Adam is so deep in her head that he's screwing with what she claimed was her number one priority, becoming the best damn CEO Newman Media has ever had. Okay. Sally hollers back and said that I missed one meeting, not the end of the world. Chloe says, oh, but it could be the end of your career, all because she was distracted by Adam. Sally thinks she's overreacting, but Nick walks in talking about is everything okay in here. And Sally is wondering if Nick is there with bad news. Nick wanted to see how the summit went. Sally asked Chloe to give her take since she was the great COO in the meeting. And of course, Chloe is stammering over everything when Nick finally calls him out. Like, you want me to believe that Sally was actually there when we all know she wasn't. He was really hoping that there was some type of reasonable explanation for her not being there. And then, of course, Sally takes a deep breath and admits, yep, I screwed up. And then she vows to make it up to both teams. So now Nick wants to speak to Sally alone. He tells her that, he can count on one hand the number of people who want her to succeed, and he's one of them. Level with me, Sally. You missing this meeting is a big deal, and I need to understand what happened. So now over at Crimson Lights, Elena wonders if he blames her too. And he was like, absolutely not. His point is that once again, Devon has screwed up his career path. Now, Elena argues that the first one was an accident. You don't accidentally punch somebody in the face because he felt betrayed, and this is a difference of opinion in business. Nate's like, I'm not going to rehash this again, and he saw Victoria in the other room. Elena takes off, and, at this point, Nate walks over to Victoria. So over at Chancellor Winters, Billy is suggesting that he and Lily unpacks Jill's proposal to go public before she speaks to Devon. She was like, giving up control makes her nervous, but Lily is excited. She was saying that how it could provide them financial freedom to pursue other projects like that music festival. Billy questions the cost is the real reason Devon has a problem with Nate's idea in the first place. Lily like, I don't know about that. They need to resolve this issue. And she asks if Billy have any ideas. Well, Billy is like, well, Devon's problem is that everyone he has, Nate has figured out a workaround and he's been doing a great job. Devon still won't budge. And Lily asked, do you think it's residual hurts from the cheating situation? And Billy was like, maybe, or Devon is worried about his accolades are not being recognized. Devon has worked hard to earn respect, and now there's new blood coming in, and he's not getting that attention, and Nate is, and it hurts his ego. Lily is like, you know what, we just can't let this continue to bubble over until everything explodes. Okay, so we're back over at Newman Media. Sally messed up and will just tell Nick the truth about why she missed the meeting. Nick was like, yeah, I think that's a good strategy. Tell the truth. Now, Sally is like, I ran into Adam. Nick asks, you miss a meeting because you saw Adam? She clarifies that she genuinely thought the meeting was later in the day, but she had been distracted trying to process the breakup and went to clear her head, and she ran into Adam. She did apologize, asked for forgiveness. Nick realized this whole thing with her brother has really done a number on her, despite the best efforts, that she can't seem to get past it. Sally also tells Nick it's not the first time, that she had her heart broken before. Yeah, okay. She realizes now that Adam was being noble and didn't want Victoria's hatred of him to get in the way of her opportunity. Now, Nick was like, that doesn't excuse what Adam did. Sally agrees, but in some ways it make it harder to reconcile the fact that he hurt her because his own twisted way, he was trying to protect her. Nick was like, yeah, that word twisted is often used to characterize Adam's motivations. Now, Sally, like, I know you hate the guy, but that's not really fair. Nick was like, well, I don't hate my brother. In fact, I've come to understand him better. He's there to talk about her. Now, Nick can't ignore the fact that she ignored this meeting, which impacts everyone's perception of her as a leader. And he needed to know that she can actually do this. And Sally was like, I can. And she vows, I can make this right. She won't let anything come in between her and her dream job. Nick states, well, someone has already. And he's confident that she can succeed if she get Adam out of her system. So Nate is having a conversation with Victoria about all the great things that's going on at Newman. She asked about what's going on over at Chancellor Winters. He admits that he wants to pursue other opportunities. At one time, he had heard about it being a great fit at Newman, so he wanted to explore that opportunity with Victoria now. And he goes on to talk about how difficult it is to work with his family more than what he thought. Now, Victoria doesn't have a good fit for him right now, but once the dust settles with her new acquisitions, she's going to need people to run those divisions just like him, so she keeps him in mind. So back over at Chancellor Winters, we see Billy pulling Lily into an embrace and complains that he feels like he's hugging a statue because she needs to relax a little bit. He starts massaging her shoulders, give her a little pep talk. He's in awe of her, and yeah, they decided to give into a kiss. So, over at Crimson Light's patio, Imani joins Nate, who tells her his idea just blew up. He filling in on the conference call, him walking out. Not his proudest moment, he said, but it doesn't matter because today is his last day. I'm leaving Chancellor Winters, and she is not happy about that. So Chloe the hyena rejoins Sally in her office where she's beating herself up for being so careless. Chloe blames Adam, of course. Now, Sally is grateful Nick is so understanding, but if she messes up again, she is out. Now, Chloe tells her that she can fix this by staying the hell away from Adam. Sally gets that she hates Adam and wants the rest of the world to hate him as well, but did she ever once think about how she see him from her perspective? And she actually thought she found the person that she belonged with. Chloe counters that she doesn't belong with Adam. Nobody does, really. And Sally is tired of all the warnings, how terrible he is, and she understands him because they cut from the same cloth, and she just can't erase him from her heart, because Chloe and everyone else tell her to. Now, Chloe hollers, okay, fine. Then you can just throw away your whole future. And then she pretty much talk about how she's done, and she storms out. So Nick heads back over to Victoria's office and updates her on what Sally messed up on but took ownership of it. Now Victoria feels like that's not good enough. If he doesn't want to go over to Newman Media, they'll have to find somebody else if Sally is not up to it. Nick thinks she is. Victoria feels that the marketing department begs to differ. Now Nick was like, come on, who hasn't missed a meeting? Victoria tells him that's a bare minimum. And, you need to make it clear to Sally that there is no second chances. Nick thinks she's being harsh. Of course she is. Now, Victoria argues they've overlooked a lot when it comes to her. And there's plenty of executives out there like Nate who's looking for a new job. Now, Nick questions, well, why he want to lead a family company? And Victoria's like, I don't know, but he's ready to make his mark. So finally, we're back over at Crimson Light. Now, Nate is telling Imani he's not leaving because Elena suggested it. She asks, well, what you gonna do? Nate replies, go somewhere where I'm appreciated. Imani is like, I appreciate you. Nate thanks her for that, but unfortunately, she's not the one to greenlight his projects, though. Now, Imani argues if he leaves now, Devon thinks that he was right about him not being able to handle the position. And Nate has no other choice, he says. Now, he's played by Devon rules and defied them as well, and nothing seems to work. And Imani was like, okay, well, maybe it's time to start thinking a little bit more ruthlessly. Okay, so there you have it, your Young and the Restless recap for Monday, September 12th, 2022. Stay tuned for the Bold and the Beautiful recap also for today. And until the next video, like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you soon. Bye.